Hey guys, Beautiful Yules here. Today we're going to be going over the portfolio for the week. So to start off, markets, as per usual, it's pretty mixed, but nothing crazy. I would say there's a few weird moves. With Nvidia, for example, they actually beat earnings. Then it didn't go so well during the call, so there's some loss on that side. So even though it beat expectations, didn't beat investor expectations, I suppose. So interesting. Also, there's some stuff going on right now, obviously with Iran. I'm not going to touch too much on that, although I'm just pointing that out now because that's probably going to affect the market tomorrow. So we'll see how that actually does affect the market. But yeah, going over the stats real quick, we can see that we ended the week off about 0.14 down, and the SPY ended at 0.49 down. So we're beating SPY this week, which is pretty nice. Composer actually started pretty high, but then as Nvidia fell out on Friday, a lot of that got taken down because we're still in TQQQ, and our M1 Finance portfolio actually did pretty well. Webull, or the MSTZ portfolio, I should say, didn't really do too much, so can't really touch base on there. But yeah, I also added this bar on the top. I'm trying to, get a kind of a goal towards 200K. So we're actually about almost a fourth of the way through. So that's pretty cool. We're at 46,921. So I think it's pretty much guaranteed unless we have an insane, unless we have a really bad bear market, that we're going to hit 50K this month. In about 2 weeks, I'll probably do 2 or 3 weeks. I'll do another investment with 3K. So as long as we go up, $120 or $100 at this point, $80, and add that in, we'll be at 50K, which will be 1/4 of the goal away. And 50K is a pretty big milestone, obviously. I don't think I've really celebrated a milestone since maybe 25K, maybe even 10K. I can't remember. But very excited to get that out there. We ended off February, you can see down 0.74, and SPY ended off 0.80. So we are losing the SPY because of the performance in January from SPY. But we'll see how that continues the rest of the year, especially as we shift more into kind of bear cycles. So no real no real improvement or anything, updates on this, but just know that we're still in this strategy, even though we're down on it. You can see the P&L, we're down about 4% on it. So yeah. For M1 Finance, if I take a look here and go over to here and sort, you can see healthcare is at the top. Energy, the biggest winner there was Shell. And then we have consumer staples, which the biggest winner there was from Procter & Gamble. In terms of the losers, semiconductors was the worst. The biggest one there was obviously from Nvidia, almost down 6.5%, or just over 6.5%. AMD surprisingly stable. AGO did follow Nvidia though, unfortunately. Financials are tanking even more. Morgan Stanley's down 5%. So it's kind of following these two, but really annoying. MasterCard's down 1.7, another 1.75%. So, and last but not least, industrials. The biggest loser there was from John Deere, which actually had quite a bit of performance jump recently. So that's probably just like mean reversion. So in terms of the activity, we can see since the last video actually have no activity, but yeah. So Google's still on the top. Nvidia's all the way down here now. It's actually only been about 24%. It was like probably our fourth, I want to say. It's gone down quite a bit. But in terms of losers, we're still only at about 5. Biggest losers, Microsoft still hasn't really recovered quite well. MasterCard, Visa, as well as AMT and Amazon. So Amazon's really on the edge there. So I honestly think we can get this list down quite a bit. So that's nice. But yeah. In terms of Webull or the MSTZ position, we go back a week. This is how it kind of went. It went up 10%, down 1% or 1.2%, then down 17%, then up 3%, then down up 5%, 5.5%. You know, when I look at this throughout the day, sometimes it's crazy. It moves so much throughout the day. It will go from like legit, you know, up 20% down to like, or maybe not 20%, but it'll be like up 12%, up 15%, and then it'll drop all the way down to like negative 3%, something crazy. It's just very common with this to happen. Last but not least, on the Holy Grail, basically the strategy that I'm in on Composer, we can take a look here. Not unfortunately, but we didn't actually hit any of the trends, the different signals. We're still in the bull signal, so you can see that here. Actually, let's do like -2. I'll show you the current status here. You can see actually. So the current price of TQQQ is $50.05. Is it actually? Yeah, I don't know where they're getting their pricing. I think it's because that date's wrong. That's actually from Thursday. Anyhow, point is, that's actually interesting that they don't have that. Anyhow, this I think is actually what it closed as. Oh, it didn't. So we'll do this 1%. This is probably the current, close to the current price. Yeah, close enough. Let's do that. There you go. So the current price of TQQQ is 49.52. We'll just call that 52 there, and you can see how close that is to the 200-day moving average. It's slowly rising. Well, this is just kind of staying stagnant recently. So, yep. And then in terms of some other stats, you can see the 20-day moving average it actually did, the price went above it briefly, and then it went back down. And then this is how the RSIs are faring. So currently, excuse me, RSI is around 45.82. So, yeah. But currently, that's what we're at. Now, we're at 1% down on Friday. Now, if we were to take a further hit, so let's just say another 3% hit, we actually would still be fine. Let's say we went down 4% tomorrow. That was weird. If we went down 4% tomorrow, we would actually be in that bear signal. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said with the Iran stuff, I don't know what to think about the market right now. I'm just going to stay heads down. Hopefully things work out. I do think there's going to be potentially a lot of movement. Obviously in stuff like defense, in aerospace and stuff like that, that's definitely going to take off tomorrow. But as a, because I'm mostly in tech, I wonder how that's going to get affected. Could go up, could go down. I don't know. I haven't really been investing long enough. I'll be completely transparent to like see really how a war or really U.S. Invasions, if you will, have kind of affected the market. And I haven't really looked too much into it either, so I couldn't tell you guys. But all I will say is, the market's going to be fine either way, even if tomorrow's down 10%. It's just a matter of time before that starts coming back up. So, but anyways, guys, that is it for me. And as always, I wish you guys well for the future.